What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are all having an awesome summer. I thought this would be a good time to make a video showing you guys some of the neat Overland products that I've picked out and checked out over the last few months. So today I'm going to show you a few new things. There's 5 or 6 cool additions that I've added to, well, my garage, but really for the Jeep and going overlanding and camping. First one, I didn't actually get this at Overland Expo. I put this on before we went to Overland Expo. This is, you may have noticed this in some of the other videos, this is a new awning from a company called Xeon. Let me show you just how fast this awning actually opens. You just unlock it, grab the 2 straps here, and that's it. That is your instant opening awning. Now I will note that I've kind of jury-rigged this to the side of my rack. These are not the brackets that actually comes with this awning. Let me show you around the other side here. They have these very stout brackets. You can see them right here. These black brackets are actually the brackets that come with the awning. I wasn't sure how to attach it to my alley cab rails, and I found these 90-degree bends in my garage. They work, but they flex a lot. So you can see how the awning starts to flex a little bit. This would be any awning. If I put it on here, it would start to flex. So I need to get some sort of gusseted bracket, and that'll stop this from hanging out on like a 10 or 20 degree angle when this is extended, because all the weight shifts out onto it. And then it will actually hold this awning up quite a bit compared to how it is now. That's more like what the awning should be sitting at and sitting like. And then the one thing we forgot to do here is we can actually tighten this up. As well. And that tightens up the material. Now, if you're wondering about wind, they do rate this. This is called the Crosswing from Xeon. They do rate this for 25 miles per hour. So it's pretty good clip for wind. As far as awnings go, I'd probably want to put my awning away that fast of wind or that much wind anyways. So this one here is a 7-foot wide awning. So it's a little longer than my rooftop tent. They do make this in a 5-foot awning, and it extends out 6.5 feet. But let me show you, it's got a couple other tricks here besides just being able to put it out super quick. So you can unlock it, unlock the mechanism there, and you can actually have this sit at different lengths. But by the way, that's how fast it is to put away. It's like literally instant. But you can bring this out to the first click there if you just want a quick bit of shade, and you just want a, bit of shade or a bit of out of the rain real quick while you're unpacking. And obviously it's gonna put way less strain on these little ghetto brackets that I put on here. So once I get that fixed up, this thing's gonna be awesome. But you can actually pull this out to another spot. But it's 4.5 feet, so a little bit less than the full 6.5 feet. And it's then you just use the little ratchet mechanism to tighten it up. That way the water is rolling off it. And this is like a rubbery material, so it's quite waterproof. It's super hot and sunny out, so it's actually kind of nice to get a bit of shade. So I'm really looking forward to using this. And I actually have the 5-foot version as well that I was thinking of putting across the back of the Jeep. So I could do an awning out the back, awning out the side. That way the whole tailgate gets covered if it's raining. But as far as like if you're out in the desert or the dunes or somewhere super hot, to be able to just quickly in 2 or 3 seconds be able to deploy some shade, and then when you're ready to go, just back in, latch those down, and then give it a couple clicks to lock it into place. It tightens it in so it's not wobbling, and there's a couple magnetic releases there for the straps, and that's it. So that's the Xeon Crosswing from Xeon. Xeon's the company. Pretty slick little unit, and very compact, very small unit. Now I do have a couple suggestions for hammock that I have made to them. One would be, it would be really cool if there's a metal, like a metal flip down cover that went over top of this to keep mud and debris out of the different mechanisms in place that do the ratcheting and whatnot. It would be really easy just to have a little shield that flopped down and you just flip it up and it would protect it from all the mud and stuff when you're off-roading, or maybe some sort of cover that went over it. But I don't want to get into zippers. Well, the two things I really hate about awnings is zippers, because they always get full of crud and gunk, and then they just never work right, or when it's cold and wet they're hard to use, and being slow or taking forever to deploy. So that's a great solution. I believe they also make some poles in tie down, so if you did want to leave it out when it's super stormy, that's an option too. But honestly, 25 miles per hour wind, it's going to be pretty wicked out. And if it's raining and 25 miles per hour wind, it's going to be going sideways underneath there anyways. You probably want to put your awning away and just go hide in your rooftop tent. I did put links to all the products in this video down in the description below. As well, throughout the video, you'll see QR codes come up the screen like this one right here that you can scan with your phone. That'll take you to the website and you can check out the product. Some of these are affiliate links, which pay me a commission and helps support me making videos. But all of the links that you guys click on are tracked and counted. So that helps me figure out what products you guys are more interested in or less interested in when it comes to making future videos for you guys. And the ones that are affiliate links really do help support me making videos on the channel, and I appreciate it a lot. It helps me just by clicking on the links. Okay, the next product I want to show you, I haven't actually got in person yet, but let me tell you about the problem that I'm trying to solve, and it's ratchet straps. Everywhere I go, I've got ratchet straps. I've got these big meaty ones to hold my batteries down in here. I've got ratchet straps in the back to hold down my propane tanks and my water tank. And when my fridge is in here, it holds it down until we get the slide in. Ratchet straps are a huge pain for like small loads, things that don't need a 10,000 pound strap to secure them. So that's where I came across this next company at Overland Expo called Roller Cam, and they make these awesome pull tight straps. So you don't need a full ratchet strap, but the way they've designed the little mechanism in the thing that adds the friction to the strap, it lets you get them super tight. So you don't need a ratchet strap, but you can get your gear super tight and secure, and they're much easier to release. So check this out, because they gave us a little walkthrough of how their roller cam straps work.
If you've ever used a traditional cam strap, the major design flaw is it's a fixed point right here.
Yeah.
So as you go to tighten it, what happens? You create more friction the harder you pull.
Yeah.
You're essentially fighting against yourself. You know. What we did is we put a roller in.
Oh.
So, you know, as you go to pull,
yeah,
you're working with yourself.
Got a little bit of mechanical advantage.
So
these are, but this is a friction latch, but does that let you get it tighter? Because I can never get the friction latches tight.
Let me show you this, a good example. Okay, so if you've ever used one of these, the traditional ones, on a flat surface, you know you can never get it that last inch. And people always say, I hate them, they come loose. Well, chances are they were never loose. It was just never tight to begin with. Okay? So with this reduced friction, you want to pull. And then if you really want to,
so you can actually
make sure, so you never have that gap that you have with the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you're done, just give it a push. And there you go. Go ahead and try it.
And is that covered on the... Okay.
So now we also do sell bumper guards for kayaks and canoes and stuff like that, if you want. That is a simple carabiner design.
Yeah.
So clip on, no more crazy truckers knots. If you have a rain fly, a canopy, or anything such like that, all you do is give it one tug.
Oh.
Here you go. And when you're done, just whoop.
Yeah.
So simple.
That's sick. So where can these guys find you online?
Go to rollercam.com. We're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
We're in various retail places, but best place for now is just to go to our website.
Awesome.
Or come to the Overland.
We'll check them out. Thanks for the demo. Appreciate it. Oh, hey guys, you're back. Okay. What do you think of the roller cam straps? They're pretty slick. I am definitely going to order a whole pile of those and get rid of this giant bag of ratchet straps that just seems to be growing like a snowball in my garage. So the next thing I want to show you has to do with flags. If you take your rig out on the sand dunes or anywhere where you need 8 or 9 foot flag on your vehicle, you can get these safety second flags, but these aren't my merch. But I will put a link to this next company on dirtyanddangerous.com if you want to check them out or grab some safety second merch. And the company is called Handy Flag. And no, I'm not talking about your standard flag pole for going to the dunes. If you guys ever go to the dunes, you know you need a large flag on the top of your Jeep or any vehicle you've got out there so they can see you coming over the dunes. And every time I go to the dunes, I either forget these, so I have a small collection of them, but when I don't forget them, they're a huge pain to pack in your Jeep because they're usually 7 or 8 feet long, and then you've got to have some way to attach it to your Jeep. So this one bolts on, so now you get down to the dunes, you got to bolt it on and zip tie it in place or whatever, and then when you come off the dunes, you got to put it in your rig and try to get this thing inside your vehicle. It's kind of a pain. So Handy Flag has come up with a super awesome, what I think is like a game-changing solution if you spend a lot of time going to the dunes, and I usually go there once a year. So let me show you this. This is my new dunes flag. Well, actually not this, it's in this bag here. Let me show you just how this works. But look how compact this is. You can just basically put this anywhere in your vehicle because it's super tiny, super compact. But two things which I think are super game-changing. Well, one is super game-changing. One is using something that already exists. But this is the flag. So we've got some yellow safety second flags, which you can actually order these with safety second flags on Handy Flag's website. So do go check that out. They made some safety second flags for us. And these are like tent poles. Boom, boom. And now we have our flag. Now you can get a bunch of custom flags, but I highly recommend you get one that has safety second on it and helps support us making videos here. But this isn't the game-changing part. It's actually, well, the fact that you can collapse this is super cool, but they have this connection here on the bottom. Look at that. So now I can mount this bolt somewhere to my Jeep or whatever you want. They make these for UTVs, or maybe have a Toyota you want to take out on the dunes and get rescued by a Jeep. But you can mount this onto whatever you want. It's just a, I don't know, probably like a 1/2 inch thread or something like that. And it has a quick release on it. So when you get to the dunes, you just plug that on, and now your flag is secure and attached to your rig. And as soon as you're done, you just pull the little coupler. It's very much like an air chuck, but there's no, it's not hollow or anything like that. And you can take your flag and just do this. You're done. That's it. How cool is that? So that's from a company called Handy Flag. And I've been waiting to use this. I think I'm gonna head down to the dunes once the weather cools down a little bit and it's not so busy, because I don't want to be out there with all the side-by-sides and dirt bikes, and take the Demonator down, because how much fun would an 800 horsepower Gladiator be in the sand? And they even give you a nice little bag for it, so you don't have to leave it outside in the dirt like I do with my other flags, because I'm always tripping over them in the garage. Boom. There you go. Handy Flag. Okay, this is the next thing I want to show you. I actually picked this up at Overland Expo, and I can't wait to go camping and try it out. This is the Light Ranger 2000 from Devos, which I did clarify while I was there. It's not Devos, it is Devos. And this is a lamp on a post. I think they should call this the lamp post, to be honest. So Colin from Devos gave us a rundown at the Expo, and I've seen these out in the wild being used, and I have wanted to get one for quite a while. Now it has white light on it. It has amber, which I guess science says doesn't attract bugs as much. Or if you want to create your own red light district, you can do just that with its red mode. Now you can also dim it, and they have an app. And let me show you this, because this is not just the light, it's actually on a tripod. Let me turn the lights back on in the garage. So the Light Ranger has a very wide base. These are huge legs on it. The whole thing packs up to be fairly compact, about maybe the size of an axe handle with an axe on the end of it. Let's turn this off so it's not blowing out the camera. We've actually got 2 more settings. We can raise this up even higher. And so you can get this to camp, deploy it. Actually, it might even be too tall for my garage. It actually hits the roof. So we've got 9-foot ceilings in the garage, and this is gonna go even taller. So probably 10 feet in the air, but it works really nice for an area light at camp. So you just whacking everything in here. You get to camp and you put this up, and then you just turn it on, and it's gonna illuminate everything. It's got lighting on all 4 sides. You can dim it, and you just leave it out. You're probably wondering, well, you put it 10 feet in the air, how do you control the lights? Well, they actually have an app for this, so you can actually connect to it remotely. You can dim the lights, you can change the color of the lights. It tells you how much battery is remaining in it. And they also have a solar panel kit for this, which I did not get, which attaches to the top, so you can add a solar panel so it keeps it charged up. But there's a little USB-C connector underneath right here, which you can easily charge it up. Thank you for using USB-C. Everything should be USB-C now. But this thing is an absolute beast as far as, whoa, hit mic. As far as tripods go, and you just collapse this up like that. And this is your entire camp light. So this can actually save you having to put like scene lights on your Jeep, or having to bring lanterns. And you know, you can basically set it up when you get to camp. It's gonna illuminate the entire area. This thing is super bright. And you can leave it on. You can climb into your rooftop tent, you can leave it on, illuminating your route and path to bed. And then once you get in your tent, just pull out your phone, turn it off remotely with your app. Super cool. I love this thing. This is super awesome. So I want to get a few more of these. I'm honestly thinking like maybe 2 or 3 more of these. You just get to camp, put them all around. It's going to look like a scene of Jurassic Park with these lanterns all over the place around you. But be able to put an aerial 10-foot lamp up in the air, and it has a nice wide base, so this is not going to flop over if it's windy out. It's a huge base on it, and they don't take up a lot of space in your vehicle because of just how compact this whole setup is. Put a couple of these in there. It's like a tiki torch from the future. One of the biggest quests that I've been on is to try to find the perfect propane campfire, or what I think is the best propane campfire. It's going to be one that's fuel efficient, puts off good heat, is fairly easy to carry around, and is going to let me have a campfire through a lot of the season here in British Columbia, where we have fire bans. We can't have any wood burning or open burning fires. So I've been looking around, trying some different ones. You guys have probably seen this one. This is the Ignite Firebox. I've had this for a few months now, and I really like the look and appearance of it. It's pretty cool. So I'll show you this one here in a second, but I did find another campfire, which actually I bought. This thing was quite expensive. This is called the tripod torch. I'll show you this in action here in a second, because I shot some video down at Overland Expo with the company. But if you haven't seen the Ignite fire can before, it's also pretty cool. So it just unlatches like a ammo can. The lid makes a lot of noise, flops off. You've got your propane hose in here, and I've added their lava rocks. And I think this helps retain some of the heat that comes off the propane fire and radiate it out. It's got some feet that you can extend, so this is a little bit more sturdy. You put those back in, and it's a pretty good campfire. And honestly, this thing, I think it adds a nice ambiance. It puts out some heat, not enough heat, I would say, for the middle of winter, but then in the middle of winter, I can have a campfire. So in the cooler evenings, shoulder seasons where it's still no fire season, this is pretty cool. And we use this a lot at Overland Expo. And the amount of runtime, it's like 1 pound per hour or something like that. This ran off my 11-pound propane tank for several nights of us using it for several hours per night. But I was shown by my friends Matt and Kara from Overland while we were at Overland Expo another propane campfire product from a company called the Tripod Torch. And they said that it is puts out a lot more heat. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna pick one up and try it. Now it is more compact. This is quite a bit smaller. It comes in this bag, but it's a lot more basic. So it comes with a hose, and we'll flip over to Overland Expo here in a second, and we'll show you the whole unboxing as well as the use of it. But it's basically just, it's like a barbecue burner, inverted and vertical, and it's got all these holes drilled out in it, and it connects and basically just shoots flames out the side of it. You get the rest of the pieces. So there's a little bit more setup to this every time you want to use it. It's got some legs that you attach to this. It's kind of like putting together Lego, because you don't want it to fall into place, but then it's got this retainer here that, there we go, holds all the legs in place like this. This little plate drops down, holds all the legs in place. And this is the tripod torch. Now this was like, I think when it hit my Visa in Canadian, like 250 bucks. So it's pretty expensive. I think it's actually more than the Ignite fire can. For what I seem to feel is a few pieces of cut aluminum. These edges are not very finished. They are rounded on the corners a little bit, but they are kind of sharp on the edges of this. Now the other thing they give you are these reflectors. There's 3 reflectors that we can then attach to the sides of this. You only want to use 1 or 2, and that helps push the flame towards you. I'm not going to fire this up in my garage, and then you can put the 3rd one on. You can actually cook on this. So it is kind of multi-purpose, I guess. And then if you're worried about it falling over, somebody knocking into this, because you can knock it over pretty easy at camp, there are some stakes to stake down the legs of this. But let's go back to Overland Expo, and I'll give you a full unboxing and walkthrough with the guys at Tripod Torch.
Hey, I'm Jake with Tripod Torch, and this is our brand new product. It's the Tripod Torch. So this is the most compact, warmest campfire out there. It's the warmest because we utilize a patent pending vertical burner. This is unlike any other fire pit because we send our fire sideways. Every other fire pit, the flame comes up and you lose a lot of the heat out of the top, or you find yourself huddling over top of it. We send the heat sideways and we call it heat to your seat. So as I turn that up just a little bit, you'll feel that flame coming at you. So you can sit back and feel the heat coming to you instead of you having to go to the flame.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the big things that sets us apart. The other thing is our pack size. We're the smallest campfire out there, 6 pounds. We say it's about the size of a textbook, if you remember your college days. Packs down tight, stick it under your seat, and it just about disappears. It's all stainless steel, so it won't rust. You can leave it outside, and we make it right here in the USA. It comes with 3 shields. I have the 1 shield on here now to block the wind that's coming through. So instead of mohawking that flame, it allows it to billow out. So we can still get a big semicircle of people that can feel that heat. With 2 shields, you can really directionalize the heat, just send it one way. And with all 3 of them, you can cook on top of it.
Oh, no way.
So we tested it up to 50 pounds. You could stick a Dutch oven right on there and cook on top of it.
So what's the runtime like?
So it depends on the flame height, of course.
Yep.
A flame like this will give you about 20 to 25 hours on a 20-pound tank.
Okay, so about 10 hours on a 10-pound.
10 pound,
Yep, okay. And then on high?
So I don't recommend high. We recommend medium, which is about right there.
Look at that.
And that will give you, on a 10-pound tank, you'll get about 7 to 9 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little more than a pound an hour.
Okay, so that's about...
And then you can crank it way up and burn through the propane really quick, but it's just too much heat. You don't need that much.
So I'm currently working on a Propane Fire Pit Campfire Showdown. I'm looking for a couple more contenders, because right now I have this. We have the Ignite fire can, and we have what a lot of people have, one of those round propane fires. And I think I'll find 1 or 2 more, and then we'll do a 5-way comparison video of what will hopefully find us the perfect propane fire pit for overlanding and camping. This one I do have a couple complaints about. Like I said before, the metal, I think it's kind of sharp on the edges. It could be a bit more finished, but the one thing about packing this up is this gets soot, or like a oily black, like you can see it's all over my hands. It gets oily and black after you use this. But you can see there's little bits of black all over this, and it's getting over my hands. So when you shut this off, you can't really put this away until you go get a paper towel and wipe all of this down, wipe it off the best you can. Otherwise, it just gets all over your hands, and it's oily. It's not like you can just wipe it off. You gotta get some soap and water to get it off. The fire can is really easy. This is way heavier, but really easy to put away. But if you got the fire rocks, you kind of have to leave it out for several hours to cool down before you put the propane hose in there. So there's, I think, a lot of things to look at with propane fires, but that's why we picked up the tripod torch. I thought I'd show you guys this in this video, see what you guys think. It puts off a lot of heat because of the way it just puts out the fire, or puts out the propane fire into the open air. But it's got nothing to heat up and hold that heat in like a fire rock, like the fire can does. It's nice to see some different options entering the market for propane fires, especially if you're like there's a lot of places you can have a fire, and that's definitely like a huge chunk of the warmer month camping season here in British Columbia. So one more thing that I was able to take a look at finally in person at Overland Expo, and that's for you guys watching that like to take your Overland rigs out and get them stuck like I do, and that's going to be the new Warn Xeon XD. Now this is the Warn Xeon 10S, but I was able to catch up with my friend Justin, who's from Warn and Factor 55, which, if you didn't know, Warn purchased Factor 55 quite some time back. And he explains to us all the new updates and improvements that Warn made to the new Xeon XD winch.
Off here,
I was trying to get a good idea of what's different with this new
Oh, like
XD
you can kind of look
version.
in there, there's a little bit of red, like in there.
Yep.
So there's actually like silicone gaskets on each end of this. So basically what it is that the way the winch comes out of the box, the winch is going to work the same 10 years from now as it did right now, meaning that you can pressure wash this thing and no water intrusion will ever get into the motor, the ring gear, or the transmission housing where the gearbox is, all in there. The control pack is metal and totally watertight and sealed. It has the Warn Albright contactor that was specifically made for us in there. The same kind of aluminum drum that was on the older Xeons, but also these are all OE aluminum fasteners, so you're never going to see any rust or anything on the other side of this. And basically what the XD has is that higher gear train and motor, so this almost runs like the Platinum does, right, as the regular base C's.
Faster line speed.
So this has got the fastest no load line speed of any winch that'll low them out in the market, which means if you got your winch line out and you're going through a rock garden, right, you have slack in the line and you overdrive the winch, you're lessening the chance of driving over the winch line, right? So you
can keep up with bringing it back in as you're going.
Yeah, it's badass.
Cool.
I mean, as far as a low mount winch is concerned, this is the best one ever to be released. And then and they're built right here in Oregon, right, Clackamas.
That's sweet.
Yeah, cool.
Is it narrower at all?
Slightly.
But
only by like only around
just barely. Yeah, okay.
A lot of that was because of some of our OE stuff. It was OE fitment.
Yeah.
So the bodies had also fit in there tighter. The other thing is it's got legit, the tie bars that are in here are a lot easier to access. Where the old Xeon, there was a lot, you had to get up underneath of this thing in order to start to remove the control pack. And then this is much easier than that. So it's going to be a lot more user-friendly on the install portion. But dude, it's pretty amazing. We did a whole live podcast thing with Tom Pash and Darren Fretz, who's one of the lead industrial designers at Warn, where we blew the whole winch apart and talked about every individual component in between it. And it's really impressive, especially when you start getting into the gear train and the ring gears that we hog out the broach machines in the plant. So it's pretty amazing.
So huge thanks to Justin for giving us that walkthrough of the new Warn Xeon XD winch. Go follow Warn over on Instagram as well as YouTube, because off camera, Justin told me there's some new things coming down the pipe, which sound pretty exciting. And that's where you're going to find out, and that's where you're going to find them first. Possibly you might see them here on my channel first. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel, guys. If there's anything else you want to see me review or do some comparison videos on, we're always updating both of the Jeeps here, as well as we've got the JK hiding behind us, which we're doing a refresh on. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I upload new videos every single week. I'd love to see you guys back here watching some more of them. All right, so I think that's a wrap for this video. My name's Casey. I'll catch you guys in the next one.